So today we are in the south of France, it's snowing outside, so I've decided to do this video about Crossfire for ETHiX, and we are in Kevin's dad's man cave. So I'm actually doing this video because when I wanted to install Crossfire, I had to gather all the information online to look on different websites, and I thought it would be good for you guys if you could find all these information in one single video, so that's what we're doing today. So first step of the process, you need to update your firmwares. So when we're saying firmwares, it's the actual firmware of the Tyrannis and the firmware on the TBS Crossfire module. So to be able to use Crossfire on your radio, you need to choose the protocol called Crossfire. And for this, you will need a new version of the Tyrannis firmware, which is at least the version 2.2.0. If it's the first time you're flashing your radio, you can follow a super cool tutorial made by JC on Project Blue Falcon, that's the one I followed, and he will explain to you how to flash your radio with the new firmware using Companion on your computer. But I'll let you have a look at this. I will put a link in the description so you can follow this tutorial. Then you will need also to update your TBS Crossfire module. And for this, you need to install the TBS agent on your PC. I think there's a version coming for Mac, but for the moment you need to use a PC. And it's pretty easy to do. You just need to take your module and then you just need to connect it to your computer. And you just open the TBS agent and you follow the steps. It's really easy to do. And once you've done this, well, you're basically good to go. If you have a Tyrannis QX7 or QX7S, you will need one more step before you can go further in the process. So there are two things you can do. You can do what I did for now, just a software change, which is going in your Tyrannis, going through the menu, and you are going to go on the page called hardware. Then it's at the bottom of the page. So you're going on max baud, and at the moment it's probably set on 400,000 and you need to put it down to 115,200. And with this, what actually happens is that you are able to fly Crossfire, so you're able to go far, to do long-range videos. But you just don't have the right latency, so the communication speed between your transmitter and your quad will not be optimized. If you want to be able to use your Crossfire with all the cool features, so the right latency and also the long range possibility, you can install a little mod in your controller, and once it's done, you are able to use your QX7 just like any other Tyrannis with Crossfire. Okay, second steps. Now I'm going to show you how I installed the Crossfire Nano RX in my quads. The good thing is I have both KISS V1 and KISS V2, so I'm going to be able to show you how I wired everything. If you have already an FRSky receiver on your quad, basically it's going to be the same thing. So this is actually the RX Crossfire Nano. I don't know if you have seen it already. So it's really tiny. And so you have like your 4 wires, you have the plus and minus, and also you have 2 pads called 1 and 2. And 1 is the equivalent of what is called S-bus on FRSky, and 2 is like the equivalent of telemetry. So you just have to wire them to the corresponding pads. So that's it for KISS V1. And on KISS V2, same thing, except the pads are somewhere else. You have the telemetry here, and then you have the equivalent of the S-bus next to the plus and minus again. So to bind my quad to my transmitter, I followed the tutorial of the manual you can find on TBS website. I can also put a link in the description if you want to have a look at it. But basically this is really easy. You go in the menu of your Crossfire. So you do the 3-second long press on your module, you go in the section called bind, and then it's on the binding mode, and just like usual, you plug in your quad. If it's a brand new receiver, you have nothing else to do. If it's a second-hand receiver, you might have to press on the button of your receiver to bind it to your transmitter. Second thing you need to do is to set up the FAILSAFE on your quad. That's really important because you might lose your quad if you don't do so. So you need to power up your quad, and then same, you go in the menu by long pressing for 3 seconds, and you go in the RX Nano section, and you go to FAILSAFE mode. At the moment it's probably on FS pause, and you need to put it on cut. So that's it. Just one quick word about something else, because I think it's really important you know that. I actually have the TBS Crossfire big boy module at the back of my radio. So I have the little menu here to navigate in. But if you have the other module, if you have the micro one, you will actually have the menu on your tyranny screen, and you will have to use the Lua script to navigate in the menu. So basically you will have the same steps to follow to bind your quads and to set up the failsafe. Last thing I want to talk about is all the antennas you can use on your setup. So I'm going to start by showing you the different possibilities for your quads. So the first antenna I actually received is the Immortal T. So this antenna is in a T shape. It's not flexible at all, it's plastic, and you will have to find a way to put it on your quad. The best way to do it would be, like the optimized way, would be to put it vertically and really far from your frame. The thing is, Kevin and I, we fly both freestyle quads, so it's impossible to put it like vertical and really far from the frame. So that's what I did. Kevin's solution is a little bit different to mine. He attached it to an arm and reinforced it with a zip tie and heat shrink. On his second quad, he has used another type of antenna, which is a soft micro receiver antenna. The difference is that it's not a T at all, it's basically one antenna that divides into two ends, and basically you can mount it the same way you would do with an FR Sky receiver. So now that I've shown you this type of antennas for your quads, we can have a look at the ones for your transmitter. The same as for a quad, there's an Immortal T available for your transmitter. That's what I'm using at the moment. But you can also have a diamond antenna and a linear antenna. So basically the Immortal T and the diamond antenna follow the same principle. If you have a horizontal antenna on your quads like I did, or like Kevin did, the best way for the signal to be transmitted is to put it the same way on your transmitter. So not like this, but the other way. Now there's another solution that Stingy actually uses on his own setup. So this is called actually the linear tuned antenna, and he found out that for him the best reception happens when he uses the soft antenna on the quad, and this antenna mounted with a 45-degree angle. So we're still testing everything with Kevin because we just received Crossfire and we're happy to test it for you. I'll let you know guys when we find the optimal solution. If you want more tutorials on my channel, please let me know. I'm always happy to share my experience. And actually that's why I'm part of the ETHiX team. They wanted me in the team to be able to share my experience and progress with you guys. To show you how I improve thanks to their own formula. So Crossfire is part of this formula, and I will keep you up to date with my journey with it. So thanks for watching guys. Make sure to check the description to find all the links I talked about previously in this video, and I wish you some happy flying, and I see you in the next video. Bye bye!
The mirror's image tells me